Chapter 8. Then answered Bildad the Shuhi, and said, How long will you speak these things, seeing that the words of your mouth are as a mighty wind? Doth God pervert judgment, or doth the Almighty pervert justice? If your children sinned against him, he delivered them into the hand of their transgression. If you would seek earnestly unto God, and make your supplication to the Almighty, if you were pure and upright, surely now he would awake for you, and make the habitation of your righteousness prosperous. And though your beginning was small, yet your end should greatly increase. For inquire, I pray you, of the former generation, and apply yourself to that which their fathers have searched out. We are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon the earth are a shadow. Shall not they teach you, and tell you, and utter words out of your heart? Can the rush shoot up without mire? Can the reed grass grow without water? Whilst it is yet in its greenness, and not cut down, it withereth before any other herb. So are the paths of all that forget God, and the hope of the godless man shall perish, whose confidence is gossamer, whose trust is a spider's web. He shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. He shall hold fast thereby, but it shall not endure. He is green before the sun, and his shoots go forth over his garden. His roots are wrapped about the heap. He beholdeth the place of stones. If he be destroyed from his place, then it shall deny him, I have not seen you. Behold, this is the joy of his way, and out of the earth shall others spring. Behold, God will not cast away an innocent man, neither will he uphold the evildoers, till he fill your mouth with laughter, and your lips with shouting. They that hate you shall be clothed with shame, and the tent of the wicked shall be no more. All right, let's go back up to verse 1. And today we got Bildad speaking, but yesterday, we're going to call it remembrance, Job had finished speaking, saying the days of a man are just like the days of a hireling, somebody that's been hired for a job, for a purpose, to carry out a duty. And he'll receive his wages, and he'll receive his rest for that which he does. And that would be to stay in observance to the understanding of God, and not any others, especially these ones that have come up to try to console Job with their words that have no meaning. And we're going to see now, Job had asked them why didn't they pardon sin? Why couldn't they do something about it? Because we'll find out there's nothing they can do. They're just men with words that can't help. And we're going to pick it up here now in verse 1 with Bildad. And then answered Bildad the Shuhi, and said, and Bildad was the one of confusion. Remember Bildad? He is this confusion, or even the one that is confused. He is the one of wealth. He is the Shuki, and the Shuki are those of Shua, and that would be those of the wealth, those that come from the wealth. 2. How long will you speak these things, seeing that the words of your mouth are as a mighty wind? So he's going to ask Job, the one that's hated, the one that's being looked down on here. He's going to ask him, now, how long you going to keep talking? How long you going to keep speaking, seeing that the words of your mouth, or this that's coming out of you, is just like a mighty wind that would just blows hard? And we can look at this as even that which is comes before the storm. 3. Doth God pervert judgment, or doth the Almighty pervert justice? God does not pervert judgment, or does God pervert justice? We'll find out. God is just. God is righteousness. It comes forth from God, and it does through the law. For if your children sinned against him, he delivered them into the hand of their transgression. So now whether or not Bildad's speaking directly to Job about his children, saying that they have sinned, we'll find out. Job was making constant intercession for his children, even though that just in case they might have sinned. You see, Job was there, but Job would only be able to ask for mercy. But if your children have sinned, God would deliver them into this transgression. And their transgression is that when they go against the law of God, that's what transgression is. It's to trespass understanding, and this that we're bound by even within. See, and when you do transgress, when you do trespass against the ordinance of God, it's because you wanted to. You should have knew the law. You should have knew understanding. Somebody should have given it to you. 5. If you would seek earnestly unto God and make your supplication to the Almighty, God is the one who we would make our supplication, our prayer to. 6. If you were pure and upright, surely now he would awake for you and make the habitation of your righteousness prosperous. Surely now if you were pure and upright, God would awake for you, and he's telling Job, if you had been righteous before the God, surely he would awake for you. God never sleeps. This would be an understanding of men where God would sleep, but God is always constantly watching, constantly in perception and understanding of everything that goes on. No matter who you are, from the greatest to the least, all things are controlled. All understandings are controlled by God. And your righteousness prosperous. And he's going to say he wouldn't have took all these things away from you, Job. He wouldn't have done this to you if you'd been correct before the Lord. Once again, they just constantly keep accusing Job sinning, and he won't admit it because Job hasn't done anything. 7. And though your beginning was small, yet your end should be greatly increased. And Job didn't have a small beginning. His beginning, he was wealthy. God had prospered him, or caused him to prosper because of his righteousness. 8. For inquire, I pray you, of the former generation, and apply yourself to that which your fathers have searched out. Inquire, question, ask, I pray you, of these former generations, even those that was before. We can find, see, there's testimony there, there's words that speak there, there's understanding there, one way or the other. And apply yourself to that which your fathers have searched out, to what they was looking for. What did they understand? What knowledge did they seek? 9. For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow. For we are but of yesterday. Well, actually, that's where we came out of, yesterday. That would be those that have went before us. See, that would be the days of yester, and these understandings that have gone. Our days upon earth are just a shadow. It's just a moment, a little something passing across. It's like a shadow as it moves with the sun, so to speak. 10. Shall not they teach you and tell you and utter words out of your heart? Will not they teach you? And we're talking about those that have went before, these generations that have gone by. There's a little something they still got to say. We can get understanding from one way or the other, their goodness or their wickedness, most likely, which we can see more easily. These mistakes that have been made and are still greatly made because there's no understanding, there's no observance to the understanding that God gave everybody in the beginning. And we're going to find there's nobody between you and God. God set the law between us, and that which you have to be observant to. 11. Can the rush shoot up without mire? Can the reed grass grow without water? Can the rush shoot up without mire, this mud, this that we'll find? It's the fine dust that's been moistened, probably from where the waters have filled the banks or the stream or the pond, whatever they are around these rush or this shoot. This is an example. That's how it comes forth. See, it comes forth from the overflowing of understanding that causes this to turn into mud, or this which your feet would sink into easily even. This rush shoots forth out of it. Can the reed grass grow without water? Can the reed come forth without water? No, it can't. And this would be that when the ponds are full and the streams fill and they overflow, and these reeds come forth and these rushes come forth from this understanding. And this is a similitude. We can look at this like if we got a little trouble, if we see the mistakes that our ancestors have made, if we can get a little understanding from that, why can't we move forward in a positive direction? For this would be the understanding we should be searching for instead of the continuance in it, because the continuance insinuates there's no understanding. 12. While it still is yet in its greenness, and not cut down, it withereth before any other herb. While it is yet in its greenness, while it's still green and coming forth, see, that's what it means. It's still growing. It's still coming up. And it's not cut down. There's nobody mowed it yet. It's just shooting forth. It withereth before any other herb. Because the waters recede, the mud dries up, it's hardened, and there's nothing left for it. See, and that's what happens to a generation that comes forth trying to grasp for it, and there's none that would help. There's none to help them. This would be where we would find God comes in. 13. So are the paths of all that forget God, and the hope of the godless man shall perish. And so would be the paths, and this is that which withereth. It come forth, they come forth, they don't have no understanding of God. They go forth into the earth without understanding, and we're just going to find out to be taken advantage of. And this would be the paths of those that forget God, and the hope of the godless man should perish, because there's no understanding from the last generation. 14, whose confidence is gossamer, whose trust is in a spider's web. Their confidence is gossamer, and gossamer are these fine filaments of the small spider's webs, and they float up, they go upward into the sky by the heat of the day, and their trust is in the spider's web. The spider's web this should be the entangler's house, because that's what it is. These are all those who trust in the entangler's house. 15. He shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. He shall hold fast thereby, but it shall not endure. He shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. And he will trust in his home, his abode, that place where he dwells, but it's not going to stand. And this would be a weak house, if a man but just lean on it and it fall over. He shall hold fast thereby, or stand to guard it, but it shall not endure. One reason, we'll find out, he's going to pass away. He is green before the sun, and his shoots go forth over his garden. He is green before the sun, and he's growing up. The sun has not yet begun to bake and beat on him. His shoots go forth over his garden. He spreadeth his shoots. These things are going to come forth of him over that place where he is planted. 17. His roots are wrapped about the heap, and he beholdeth the place of stones. His roots are wrapped about the heap, that which they're growing upon, that mound. See, that's mound. That mound's made of the past. That's all those that are under you, all those from where you have come. And he beholds the place of stones, and he can now look and know that this place of stones, that's those that witness, that house of those things that have been made firm, because, see, it's just the past, and it keeps repeating itself. 18, if he be destroyed from his place, then it shall deny him, I have not seen you. If he be destroyed or taken away from his house, then it shall deny him. It shall say, I never knew him for his wickedness. 19, behold, this is the joy of his way, and out of the earth shall others spring. Behold, now look and see. This is the joy of his way. This is how it's done. This is what they do. This is the joy they find in what they do in life. There's no understanding of God. The wickedness, see, and that's what Bildad is trying to convince Job he is one of these that come forth from a generation that had no understanding. 20. Behold, God will not cast away an innocent man, neither will he uphold the evildoers. God shall not cast away an evil man or an innocent man. And he's telling you, God wouldn't be punishing you if you hadn't done something wrong. Neither will he uphold the evildoers. He won't support those that do wickedness. God is just, till he fill your mouth with laughter and your lips with shouting. Fill your mouth with laughter. This word laughter is in a form of mockery. And your lips are always that which, these two things that work. That's what they are. See, you got on your mouth, you got a tongue, and that's which worketh within. And the lips are that which worketh without. And this is with shouting. And that's with a warning. See, warning these things that are working without, that we can see that generation before and that generation that is now speaking, telling, showing us these words and these things of warning. 22, they that hate you shall be clothed with shame, and the tent of the wicked shall be no more. They that hate you, they that despise you, they that look down upon you, shall be clothed with shame. And that's that generation that hears and has understanding, that can see these things. They shall be clothed with shame, those that hate you and look down upon you. See, we'll find that in the end God has control of all understanding and knowledge. The tent of the wicked shall be no more. And this is the tent, the place where the wicked abide. And we'll find out Bildad's words are of no comfort to Job. They are only causing Job more misery to look down upon, because Job was a man who God had given understanding. We're going to move to chapter 9. Turn and return.